Once upon a time, in a quiet village, lived a hard-working merchant. He had amassed enough wealth to live a comfortable life, but his true treasures were his 4 healthy, grown-up sons. After his beloved wife passed away, he dedicated his entire life to them, choosing not to remarry, pouring all his love and devotion into raising them. As his eldest son reached the age of marriage, the father, full of pride and generosity, divided a part of his property and gifted him a new home. He did the same for the second, and then the third, and finally, for his youngest son. He continued this until he had given away almost everything he owned, keeping only a small, humble house for himself. He thought, with a contented heart, "My work is done. Now, in my old age, my sons will surely care for me." But sadly, he was mistaken. Once each son had a wife and a family of their own, their hearts began to change. The warmth and unity that once defined their family slowly faded, replaced by a cold distance and a creeping selfishness. Soon, one by one, they moved away, leaving their elderly father all alone in the echoing silence of his small house. At first, they would bring him food from time to time, a small gesture to ease their conscience. But as the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, even these small offerings became rare. Each son would think to himself, "My brother has probably already brought him something today," and so, with that convenient excuse, none of them did. The old man grew weaker. The gnawing ache of hunger became a constant companion, matched only by the deeper ache of loneliness in his heart. His clothes became tattered, his body frail. Eventually, the once proud merchant was forced to beg for scraps of food from his neighbors just to survive. He was a shadow of his former self, living in a profound and inescapable sorrow. One day, a kind-hearted young man from the same village saw the old man's pitiable state. Shocked, he approached him and asked, "Grandfather, what has happened to you? I remember you as a wealthy and respected man. Don't you have sons to care for you?" The old man let out a long, heavy sigh, the sound filled with years of pain. "Yes," he whispered, his voice trembling. "I gave everything to my sons. I built their homes, secured their futures. I truly believed they would look after me. But now, none of them even remember I exist. I have nothing left. No food, no decent clothes. I am just waiting for death to release me." The young man's heart ached for him. He thought for a long moment, a clever spark lighting up his eyes. "Don't worry, grandfather," he said softly. "I have an idea to teach them a lesson they will never forget, and to help you live your remaining years in comfort and dignity." He leaned in and whispered his plan. "Find a small, sturdy jar. Fill it with dirt and, well, some foul-smelling waste. Make it heavy. Then, bury it deep under the main post of your house. When people pass by, tell them a little story. Tell them you've buried a pot of gold and treasure right there. But you haven't decided which son deserves it. You'll give it to the one who truly, genuinely cares for you before you die." The old man, with a glimmer of hope he hadn't felt in years, did exactly as the young man instructed. Within just a few days, the rumor spread like wildfire through the village, quickly reaching the ears of all 4 sons and their wives. A pot of gold, buried treasure. The news ignited a fire of greed in their hearts. Suddenly, the lonely little house was bustling with activity. All 4 sons came rushing back, their faces plastered with wide, artificial smiles. They brought him delicious, steaming food every day. They wrapped him in new, fine clothes and tucked him into bed with warm, soft blankets. They showered him with false affection, calling him dear father and hanging on his every word, each one secretly vying to be named the most caring son. Because of this constant care and attention, even if born from greed, the old man's health began to improve dramatically. He ate well, regained his strength, and a genuine smile returned to his face. He lived happily and comfortably for many more years, far longer than any of his sons had expected or hoped for. Finally, the day came when the old man passed away peacefully in his sleep. After the funeral rites were complete, the 4 sons gathered at the house, their hearts pounding not with grief, but with greedy anticipation. They wasted no time, grabbing shovels and beginning to dig under the main post where their father had told them the treasure was buried. They carefully unearthed the jar. It was heavy. They exchanged triumphant, greedy glances, their minds already spending the gold. But as they pried open the lid, a disgusting, overwhelming stench erupted from the pot. It was filled to the brim with filth and foul waste. They screamed and leaped back in disgust. The jar's contents splashed out, and some of it landed on the wise teacher they had hired to help them divide the treasure fairly. Covered in the stinking mess, the teacher jumped to his feet and shouted, "What is this? You fools! This isn't treasure. This is your punishment. This is the price you pay for your greed and for forgetting the Father who gave you everything." Ashamed, humiliated, and stinking of their own deceit, the sons and their wives fled in silence, their faces burned with a regret that came far too late. They had been given a second chance to care for their father, and they had only done it for the promise of gold. In the end, all they inherited was their own shame. This story teaches us a powerful lesson. Greed truly blinds the heart, and ingratitude can destroy the most sacred bonds of family. We should care for our parents not for any reward or inheritance, but out of pure love and gratitude. For one day, we too will be old, and the love we give is the love we hope to receive. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tales. We'll see you in the next video.